Connecticut Sun forward Alyssa Thomas and Indiana Fever coach Christy Sides both called for the abusive comments toward W players to stop during their respective post-game news conferences following Game 2 on Wednesday night. Thomas went as far as to ask the league to step in to do something about the behavior.
In my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And basketball is headed in a great direction, but nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
Good for Alyssa speaking up. Following those strong comments, the WNBA released the following statement. In part, it read, "While we welcome a growing fan base, the W will not tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments made about players, teams, and anyone affiliated with the league." So obviously we discussed the progress, but still a long way to go.
Stephen, you made a face. What's your thought?
Huh?
What's your thought? Because I have thoughts.
What did it tell you?
No, I know you think. No.
What do you mean? What did you tell you?
What I'm saying is this. Listen. We live in a world today. Think about the climate that exists. Think about how unhealthy and divisive our climate is in today's day and age. I ran into people who were born in the 40s a couple of weeks ago that were telling me it's worse now than it was in the 60s. In the 60s, think about that. Civil rights legislation is 1964. Voting rights, 1965. They're saying it's worse now than it was then.
Racial tension.
Racial tension, okay? So you see this girl, Caitlin Clark, and this is not her fault. It's not her fault. What she doing is stepping on the basketball court and playing. It's certainly not the fault of players that are competing against her. They did nothing wrong. But knowing how our society can be, we see the ugliness that exists in certain parts of the country. All I'm saying is you can't ignore it, because it's real. That's why so many people are desperate for us to vote one way instead of the other. Because they're looking at our society and they're saying, we won't go back. We won't go back. Don't let us go back. There's certain people that want us to go back to a different time, blah, blah, blah. We've heard all of that. It's real. We want to act like, well, let's not focus on that. Let's just march forward and let's just move forward. Well, guess what? You can't move forward when you're ignoring the past. You got to build from the past, learn from it, and know how to eradicate it in order to march forward. And this is a perfect example, a small one, but nevertheless a perfect example of illuminating the kind of society that we're still living in. No matter how far forward we have moved, there are people who wish and crave that there was a different time that exists in this world right now. And it even shows up on the damn basketball court or in the basketball arena.
So you don't have an issue with her comments. Just want to make sure.
Her?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
Good,
She's
good. I'm glad
zero.
we're on the same page because
Zero.
Good, thank you, because I can take you behind the curtain on this.
Please do.
So I played for the Connecticut Sun for 5 years. I know Alyssa Thomas very, very well. So well that, prior to this current CBA, we shared a room for 4 years. That's when we had to share rooms as rookies. Yeah. So I've known AT. First of all, congratulations, Connecticut Sun, for advancing. She had a tremendous game and has been playing amazing basketball, 5-time All-Star. Alyssa Thomas is one of the most quiet, woman of few words, does not mince her words, lets her game speak for herself type of people you will ever meet. She's one of those people also that has an alter ego on the court. She's a bully, she plays hard, she plays well, but off the court, she is like so soft-spoken. So if she's choosing to speak, there is a reason. Let's talk about this Connecticut Sun series, right? In this series, we saw Caitlin Clark get poked in the eye. And Caitlyn said in media after that, that was accidental, that was unintentional. But we saw reporters gaslighting that situation, trying to make more of it, speaking to amplifying the wrong narratives. As a result of that, Dejanay Carrington, who has been vocal about the issues that players have dealt with over the course of this WNBA season with the rhetoric, posted her getting called the N-word countlessly, getting threats to her life based off of an incident that Caitlin Clark said this was a basketball type of thing. I pushed through, we played a game, she played a good game after that. So she minimized it, tried to erase it, and tried to send a message like, y'all, there's nothing here. That was one incident. When this season started on the Indiana Fever, Aaliyah Boston said, hey, for my mental health, after starting 1-A, I am off social media. Midway through the season, the Chicago Diamond DeShields, this is a situation that happened to her. She recently survived having a spinal tumor. She was in the hospital. We did specials on her on ESPN. Her playing basketball right now is a miracle. Some of the fans that were unhappy with her one play, a defensive play, called for that same tumor for her to die. Like, this is the rhetoric that is happening on plays that should be non-factors, right? Yeah. But instead, that's what the players have been dealing with from Aaliyah Boston, Diamond DeShields, and now Dejanay Carrington. That's the issue that WM players are speaking to. The rhetoric has nothing, like, we all know, I know what it's like to be called bad words as an athlete. I got called bad words when I was in high school in Texas, right? We deal with that, but this is completely out of bounds. And I do think over the course of the year, the players have been saying and saying and saying, something needs to stop. We need to show people who we are. We need the commissioner to speak on this, which the WNBA came for a statement, had a statement yesterday, but things just haven't been the way it needed to in sort of setting the tone, especially with this new influx of fans on what we stand for and what we don't. I think Caitlyn has used her voice in the ways that she has tried to, but still, like, it's been falling short, and that's why I'm grateful for Alyssa choosing this moment after they advance to speak on it. She would not do it unless she felt like it was the right thing to do.
It's interesting because, years ago, Allen Iverson made news because he was in Indiana. And he alluded to some names that he had been called that we can't repeat over these airwaves. And people were bringing in the question, who the hell is he? And he's probably lying or whatever. But he had me. I was standing right there. I heard exactly what they said to him. Word for word, okay? And they called him everything out of the sun, including the N-word. They didn't give a damn. Right there in Indiana. Right there in Indiana. And so I'm not going to castigate an area of this country and engage in geographical prejudice and all of this other stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm simply saying it's ironic that as we sit here and we talk about these things, and it's associated with a star that has been on the Indiana Fever, it just reminded me of what Allen Iverson is going through. As it pertains to the point that you've illuminated, which is right on point, the fellas have been going through this forever. Forever. There used to be a code. You don't do that to women. You don't do that to ladies. That code is gone. In today's society, with social media and beyond, folks don't give a damn. There is no line of demarcation. There is no line of decency. There isn't such a thing as, you know what, you don't mess with women and children, for example. They will attack women. They will attack children.
You're hiding behind computer screens.
They will
like
do it They will do it mercilessly. So yes, it's great that the WNBA spoke up about it. It's great that the commissioner spoke out. It's great that Alyssa Thomas and others are speaking out. I hope it continues. Just know it ain't gonna change.
And I know, I don't think it will.
Because indecent people are indecent people. Yeah. And unfortunately, they always exist.
They can be removed from games, though.
True.
True. Unless they hide well.
It won't change, but what I do appreciate is their game won't either. It's unapologetic.
Yeah.
The women are playing the best version of basketball. Right. People are falling in love with the WNBA. Right. And, like Dejanay just won Most Improved Player.
And
in the midst
by the way.
of this, right? So they keep pushing forward. But lastly, I'll say this because I think I'm going to bounce soon. Like, we got to keep the same energy, right? Like, Caitlyn's out, but we have a great playoff run ahead. I don't know if you caught what Nafisa Collier did, 42 points for Minnesota. The New York Liberty.
No joke.
They might be my favorites right now, the New York Liberty.
I got to see
what do you mean? That's
Asia
what I'm
Wilson.
saying.
I'm a New York Liberty.
Okay.
I got to see somebody take out Asia to believe it. And you know me, I'm rooting New York all day, every day.
That's
but
I
got to see somebody take out Asia Wilson. I got to see it to believe it.
Are you going to go to the game? Should we go together?
I don't mind. Well, I was there last year, by the way. I was there.
Were you?
Yes,
Because usually when you come, you have the cameras walking in on your fits and stuff.
Well, first of all,
so you got to keep that same energy.
Can I answer the question? Number one.
And then I got to get in commercial break,
I have
guys.
never asked,
Even though I'm enjoying
I've
this.
never asked ABC and ESPN to put the camera on me when I walk into the arena. That's number one. Number two, I treated my daughter. I took my daughter.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You understand?
Okay.
Now,
put the camera on.
you can talk about the same energy. You want the same energy?
Yeah.
Am I going to get the same energy? Am I going to get my courtside seat? Because I ain't sitting in the stands.
I don't know about that.
I ain't sitting in the stands.
No,
you want to have me courtside?
I
You
can
have me
talk.
courtside, we can talk.
The Psy family are great.
Right. I'm just
I
saying.
can hook you up.
I mean, since we talking about same energy, right?
Yeah.
I want to say a same seat.
want the
Okay.
How about the same seat?
Okay, Hollywood. All right.
Damn right. Damn
Chiney,
right.
appreciate